Good morning, Rajiv.
Morning.
Just give me a couple of minutes and please
Yeah,
drop
yeah,
a
sure.
message on WhatsApp group so we can push the rest of the audience to join in a couple of minutes and then we'll start proceeding.
Sure. Sure.
Good morning, Rishabh.
Yeah, hi, Kunal. Good morning.
Rishabh, just give me a couple of minutes. I'm pushing to the rest of the audience and we'll proceed. Meanwhile, could you please join the Google Classroom? I've already sent the invitation. Let me share you the details over here as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, good morning, Rajiv or Rishabh. Rishabh, are you able to access or join the platform?
No, I was checking.
I have shared the class code and links in the message window. If you can check the message window, I have already shared.
Can you reshare once again?
You want me to reshare?
Yeah.
Okay. Go with the chat window. Okay, I'm sharing in the chat window itself.
Hmm.
Now, are you able to access?
Yeah.
Okay. So, guys, I would request everyone to switch on your cameras because this is the first session. Obviously, at least we would be able to interact, get to know each other better. Can we do that? Anil, Rajiv, I'll do that myself as well. Hi, Rajiv. Anil, good morning. I hope you will be able to see me. Rishabh, it's up to you if you want to switch on the camera. So let me just give you a brief that Rishabh would be your lead instructor throughout the program, and he'll be taking care of the entire delivery and interactions, mentoring, and almost everything end to end. I'll just give you a brief myself. So I'm Kunal Soni, founder of Management Career Institute. Uh, Although it looks like a more traditional name, a Management Career Institute, but still we are working in the transformation structures where we are putting AI in the front row, and everything that we are trying to working in terms of tech programs or the management programs, it's been totally driven through the AI structures. So the best part is we are not working to sell out or work on any common skill sets which is already been available to the rest of the platforms, but rather we'll be keep innovating and disrupting with the new skill sets. Obviously it's AI enabled, which has got a huge power of disrupting the next generation market, or it's pretty much into the demand for the next generation of workforce basically. So all the programs we keep on redesigning at every frequent time interval so that you will be relevant for the next 5 years down the line to the entire ecosystem of the industries or the organizations or the profiles or the transformations. This is one of the first step that we have come up with. So I'll just give you a brief understanding because there are a lot of thought processes are going on, because people are saying that, okay, there are a lot of AI agents programs which is already been available across different platforms. So how we are different into that particular platforms? So first of all the programs were designed from the individual perspective or individual hands-on activity using a drag and drop hierarchy or drag and drop system. What we have done it, we have come up with the enterprise angle into that particular program, where most of the platforms are just selling the AI tools basically. They are not helping to individual to understand that, okay, how it implies or how it implement into the corporate environment or the entire enterprise environment as an ecosystem end to end, from tech integration to API integration to database integration to LLM integration to framework architecture, everything. And I'm sure Rishabh will gonna take forward all the structures. I'm just giving you the brief understanding, and that's how we are very exclusively into that segment. That this is first of its program where you will be getting exposed to the enterprise ecosystem rather just any particular tool. So here you will have a lot of possibilities when you take away all these structures and start building it in your own existing profiles, or probably you'll be consulting to some clients. Then it will gives you the upper hand to the rest of the crowd or your peers or the workforce which are working into it. And that's how we are trying to putting it up a show over there. On the top of it, we wanted to maintain the personalized mentoring and one-to-one enough timeline so that you can have a one-to-one interaction with the mentor, and not only just to focus about the existing curriculum or academic structures, but you will be talking more in terms of your own challenges that you're gonna facing it on day-to-day purposes. Either you are executing in your in-house organizations, or you're looking forward to switch to new profiles, switch to new industries. So what could be the problem statements which you are facing or probably you're gonna probably face? So I think Rishabh will gives you the entire clarity that, okay, these are the scenarios where you need to approach, how to approach a problem statements, how to build it, implement, and finally you get deployed through the cloud environments. So that's the beauty of the entire program. And I have a request to, like, obviously because we have onboarded a very limited batch size, so that we ensure the proper productivity and a one-to-one mentoring cycle, so that you'll have more than enough timeline to have the interaction. So please do not miss any of the session in the upcomings. And for Rajiv, yes, Rajiv and Anil, we have released couple of Google Meet invitations onto the Google Classroom. So the first one we are using it today. This is for the first session, for 1 hour of session. Another link is designed for the entire weekends. So with single link, you just need to access the same link again and again on every weekend. Like 9 to 11 will be meeting on every Saturday, Sunday till 3rd of May. I hope you have got the entire clarity, Rajiv. That was the kind of a struggle you are doing it. Now, yes, there was, I have been going through the product and we are facing a bit of a technical problem, because you were saying it is not reflecting into your calendars basically. So it is not into our hand. It is from the Google product side. We are working onto it. So once it will start sorted out, you will start seeing in your Google calendars because it's already been sent to you. What you can do, just keep a track of all this stuff. You just need to keep coming and log into your classroom. In the stream section, you will get all the content and the discussions, or probably you can have any queries or anything you can put or publish into that. We'll get the notification and we'll start working onto it. Rishabh will take around 24 hours of timeline. Is it okay, Rishabh? 24 hours of timeline to respond to any of the query? Because Rishabh is also into the working environment. So he'll take around 24 hours of timeline to address any of the query if you put it onto the classroom. Meanwhile, we'll be following. If that can be sorted from our end, then we'll respond you as soon as possible. Else, expect a timeline. On the top of it, what I would suggest that it would be better to interact in Rishabh in the live session and get sorted in the same timeline, so that the productivity will be very high and you will be highly motivated to break through and to implement as soon as possible. Anything else that you would be requiring from my end to address any other further structure, so I can hand it over to the Rishabh?
And just on Sunday, it says in the on the classroom section, it says 9 to 12. Though you said it'll be 2 hours.
9 to 11. 9 to 11 will be there. So the 1 hour of margin I have taken it for any miscellaneous happenings or any technical issues. So we'll close it by 9 to 11, but 1 hour extra I'm taking it because you already have some kind of queries which you need to address by the end of the class. So we'll also keep those margins in our bucket. Now, I'm not sure why people have not done up for this particular session. Let's hope that other peoples will join by today or tomorrow. Anyway, we are committed. So the reason is we are committed because Rajiv, thank you so much. You are the first one who has confirmed the slot just by putting a kind of a brief notice, and then followed by the Anil. So obviously the objective is pretty much simple and very much clear, that we wanted to work with the serious folks, irrespective of how we're gonna think about the sales part, or we are making it losses or something. That's a different story. That's perfectly fine. But the objective is very much clear, that we want to bring the results. We want to work with the serious folks, so that you'll somehow gonna implement, and that's indirectly will gonna make a buzz to us that this platform is really working and putting in efforts. You put up the show in the markets, and that's what we wanted to get it delivered in the global space. So I think pretty much I'm done from my end, and I'll be connecting you by tomorrow. We'll discuss further. Anything that you want to discuss from my end or from MCI point of view, anything else, I'll be handing over to the Rishabh. I think before handing it over, Rajiv and Anil, I would have a quick intro from your end. What could be your goals? So Rishabh will get to know the clarity that, okay, this is how he wants to mold his delivery and the present those kind of content with respect to the addition of your profiles. Rishabh, please take forward once the introduction will be done. So just take it to the intro, and then we'll conclude today's in 1 hour, so that rest of the audience will also get the leverage to by tomorrow onwards. Rajiv, Anil, please go ahead with your intro, and then Rishabh will take over.
Before I start, are we recording this so that we have access to it to go back and refer to it, right, for our learning?
Yeah. So once the session, the current session is been recording is going on. Once the session will gonna complete, we'll upload it onto the classroom. You'll get it. Okay.
Fair. Okay, great. No, my larger purpose. So I work in the space of leadership development and coaching, right? And while my company is trying to obviously do its own enterprise level AI and stuff, I'm more curious of exactly what we shared of that 1-person, 2-person business that you create leveraging AI. And I'm quite keen to figure how the entire end-to-end approach of how I would do that if I wanted to do that, right? Like, I obviously can't do it in the leadership space because it's conflicting with my company. But on the other hand, I'm very strongly into health and fitness. So nutrition, coaching, blood group analysis, all of that. I anyways do that for my friends, but I'd love to try and now do it on a formal platform and create that structure. So I'm more curious to just learn that entire thing end to end.
Great. And just to give you an insight, so Rishabh has been a part of healthcare industry as well. So I'm sure you would gonna love it because he's a direct resource person for you to address all the challenges in the healthcare industry. Yeah. Anil, please go ahead.
I'm working in Infosys as an architect. So now all industries are moving into AI. So I want to know more on AI and uh, train my team to move into AI. That's why that is my main goal.
Okay. Yeah. Good. Thanks, Anil. Now I'll be handing over to the Rishabh. Rishabh, please take over the session and then start executing.
Yeah. So thanks, Raju and Anil. Nice to meet you all. And I think I'll give my own intro. So I start my journey with AI. I was fortunate enough when the ecosystem started and the entire transitioning was happening in 2015 back. While AI was there, but not that prominent as of today, right? So it was there, but it was in only for the research and all of those purpose, but not that prominent. And nobody knew that this could be in such a set of evolution that it will go ahead and disrupt the entire industry, right? So, so what we are trying to address over here is today we will talk about what are the things that we need and what are the basic stuffs that we should be aware of. Okay, and I know that we want to build everything from scratch to a production level ecosystem where a single person can become everything, right? Everyone, like the single person can personify a developer role, the same person can personify an admin role, the same person can personify a cloud role, okay, and do all the stuff with the help of AI. And with that, I think we will start and we are going to kind of focus more on today on what are the things that we need. The first few hours of our overall 15 hours of journey is more on how do we make sure that we understand some of the technicalities, right? So eventually, if you build a product with AI, there could be a lot of things that comes in place, and we need to know, right, how we can basically navigate through our technical stuffs. So yeah, I see Rajiv has a question. Yeah, go ahead, Rajiv.
Yeah, I think absolutely, Tanisha. Because I was, we don't really reflect on it, but we don't also realize that Google, when we do search, it used to do this predictive text that will give you, are you searching for this, right? And that's exactly what now it's come back into this. But I was also curious, and when you said that statement end to end and stuff, is I think the right way to think about AI and how to build from there is important, because you have information coming from 100 sources and you're like, which direction do I get pulled in? What's the right way to think and build on this? So I think that foundation would be equally important. So yeah, absolutely, that the first few sessions need to be on the right foundation building.
Completely, yeah. And
Yeah.
also you need to know, right, what you have to prompt for, right? So
Yeah.
we know that there are different, means I can just go and directly prompt it out. But more important is what do I prompt for? And if we see any, while we build anything, if we see an error, then let us try to understand why that error is coming. Okay. And then you can basically make use of your LLM much, much stronger, because then you know why the error is coming. You can also give some fixes. You can also give some ideas to LLM. Remember one thing, like LLMs are not God, so they don't know everything. They only know on the context that you have provided or somebody has provided with a lot of information, right? But there are still a lot of mistakes and error does it does, right? Just last day I was building a product and it was hallucinating. A good code was broken back, and and again it hallucinated, and then it took few hours just to fix that, right? To go back to that original version because it hallucinated, it pushed the code into the container services of Azure, and now I don't have any traceback of the previous version of the code, right? So it has to again regenerate that, and then it has to further go ahead and kind of fix it. So these are the challenges which we will learn over the system on a real-time basis, that what we are doing and how we are doing, and we will also go ahead and see that what are the different factors that basically focuses or that we go ahead and kind of put in place, and you can see on my screen, right? So uh, we have this entire different divisions of it, like what we want to start with, and then as we move into session 7, 8, 9, 10, these sessions are more intense in terms of real-time codings, and you don't need to code anything. Okay, so LLM will do everything for you. All that you need to know is how the ecosystem and functioning works. What are the basic things that LLM may be using to build such kind of generative AI tools, right? So at first, we are going to start with Python. Okay, so there is a very good saying in the world of engineering that you should be a you should learn how to fix the error rather than building too much, because if you don't know what the error is about, you cannot fix it. Okay, so that's why we want to start with Python. Okay, there would be because Python is the major ecosystem nowadays with all the applications that we see. We do also have front end ecosystem and all, but that is fine. Means you have enough content and enough information on the front end side where the logical reasoning happenings are not there in place. So it is more of like putting a button over there on the screen, putting a input window on the screen, putting a chat window on the screen. So we have a lot of information about that. It's already, and LLM can go ahead and process those. But where LLM gets stuck is more on the backend logic. Okay, so backend logic is very complicated, right? So for an example, you see the Google Meet currently in your screen. In backend, there are so many services which are running, and we even don't know that how many services are actively running. There could be almost around 100 plus services which are actively running on the back of the Google ecosystem. Okay, so backend is more complex than just putting these buttons on the front end. And what we are going to learn is what are the things that matters the most, like OOPS concepts, okay, which we call it as object-oriented programming, which is common across any theorem of programming, and it is one of the important area to understand while you prompt that what are the things that your program should automatically handle before even it makes an error, or before you are just building and rewiring and rewriting the same thing again and again, right? So we also want to learn about how to integrate APIs, and we also want to learn about how to integrate OpenAI. Okay, how do we see OpenAI over here, and how can we integrate that with Python, right? And kind of mimic what ChatGPT offers, right? So on Python. So these are some of the interesting facts that we would love to start from tomorrow onwards, and we want to first touch base with Python. Basics of Python may not be too intense, but something which can help you to identify if you get any error, what is that error all about, right?
Yeah.
And then whether to understand whether it is an error or whether it is something else. So these are very, very important.
Quick question. In the in column D, it says call OpenAI API. Are we going to only stick to ChatGPT? Because I've just recently ended my ChatGPT and moved on to Claude. So is it
No, so
substitutable in a way?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you can use anything. This is from the programming landscape. I'm just using OpenAI, but you can use Claude, you can use Gemini, you can use any other ecosystem. What I am going to use is I am going to use a lot of tools all together, and these are all enterprise grade tools. Okay, so um, anything can be used, right? So that is how the ecosystem will be built altogether. Okay. So we are going to understand those aspects. Okay, that how can we make use of Python? How can we make use of different APIs, REST APIs? How does it eventually look, and how does it eventually come up with the results? So all of these we'll learn. Okay, and then some of the standardization, like JSON is a standardization. Okay, so sometimes when we are talking about multiple agents, so we need to know that how each of those agents should have an handshake or handoffs between them, right? So in that handoffs, what we want to learn is how uh, how can we do a handoffs of information with a standard process? Okay, like JSON is one of that, and then YML is another way to do the handoffs. So we will learn that how can we kind of architect those, right? That so that all the handoffs are pretty standardized between the agent. It is not like sending a variable, sending a text, sending randomly something with different structure. No, we are not going to do those. We are just want to make a more enterprise grade standard communication between the agents. Okay. So this is the first first foundation looks like, and then we move on to different type of agents.
And
Okay, so
sorry again, hopefully we don't need too much of a technical background, right? Because I'm zero, and then I know Anil, I'm sure by working in Infosys and being an architect, he'll be 10 steps ahead when it comes to technical
yeah,
jargon
no,
and insight. I know nothing. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely fine, because all that we need to know is that what is happening, why we are getting an error. It's a product building ecosystem. Okay? So you are the only person assuming in your own space or in your own entrepreneurship journey. You are the only person to build a product, to do all your admin jobs, to do the testing, to do each and everything, right? So you really don't need a technical knowledge of each and everything, but to some extent to catch those error is what we try to first train, right? So how the error looks like, uh, how we can kind of fix those, and how we can make it more relevant. So those are the things that very simple things, right? So so that you understand what is happening now, and you should not get lost within the ecosystem. And if you feel that you are lost, then Claude is there to help you. The only thing is, what I understand is in the overall product building journey, if you are smart enough to understand the errors, then it becomes easier to build the entire ecosystem with the less cost. Why? Because let's say today you start building something and then you get an error, and then again you ask Claude to find that. Claude may hallucinate and then end up with another error, another error, another error, and it will keep on happening until it takes few more iterations and all your tokens economics gets lost. You are ended up with 5 hours of uh, time. At the same time, you also ended up losing a lot of tokens for that 5 hours, right? Though it will get fixed, that is sure that someday it will get fixed, maybe in 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, it will get fixed. But you ended up with losing a lot of tokens, and lot can work up to 5 hours for a given day. And the entire day you just figured out that the model hallucinates, or you even didn't made any progress on that. So I think that those just small touches will get fixed out to understand those things. And then you also have a concrete idea, right? What is happening in the back. So tomorrow, when it comes from the designing perspective, from scalability perspective, that how it should look like when we are opening for millions of users, when we are opening for a large enterprise grade application. So in those cases, we just need to understand the things. That's it. Moving to the next is we are going to also understand LangChain. Uh, so just to give you an understanding what LangChain is, so LangChain and LangGraph both are there. So these are the tools for open source tools, okay, for free and for everyone. Uh, what it does is it helps you to build agents. So it is again a framework on which we can build agents. Most of the agents are built on top of these LangGraph and LangChain, okay? And you can see a lot of companies like JP Morgan, Uber, they use it in their ecosystem, and they basically make use of LangChain and LangGraph in building their agents. Okay, so it's a framework again. Agents anybody can build with few lines of Python code, but managing the transition within the agent, managing memory, managing relationship, managing the workflows, all of these, or introducing a tool in a very structured way is something what LangGraph and LangChain offers today. Okay. There are a few more as well, apart from LangGraph and LangChain, but this is the best in the industry. There are a few more like Crew AI. They are also offering the same type of framework and all, but I still feel that LangChain is more reliable and LangChain and LangGraph both. So there are some distinctions between both of them, LangChain and LangGraph, but it is more reliable and more beneficial than QAI. QAI
Do
also helps us building a lot of agents, but it has some limitation on its use. Like it also has a pricing model where it offers better solution, which LangGraph already does it. And I think anyway, we are not coding of ourselves, right? Claude is going to code that. So we don't bother about the complexity of LangGraph codes or doing all of that. All that we need to know is what we are using. Yeah.
do you think
Open to
we'll reach a stage? Sorry, do you think we'll reach a stage where there will be plug and play AI agents built, saying, look, over time we've realized that for X kind of job, there are these 100 agents. These are the 100 jobs that happen. Therefore, we built these 100 agents. Let's say it's for HR. You pulp, and then you just tweak it and customize. So maybe people don't even reach the stage of saying, I need to go through and understand all of that. It's just, I just do a plug and play with AI agents and tweak it to what I want as an output.
I think yes, definitely. Even in fact, I am only working on that for my own stuff. So I want to show you. See, this is one of the agent which. Okay. See there on this screen, yeah. So this is one of the agent which goes ahead and so this is a workflow. What I do is these are all agents. Okay, so I can create my own agent and say that act as an executive assistant. I'm still building on top of this, but this is not yet complete. I'm still working on it, but I can show you what is the instruction that I have given. Act as an executive as an agent and analyze my calendar for today and provide a strategic briefing. So what is the structure of my briefing? First is the big rocks. Identify the three most critical meetings or deadlines. Briefly explain why they matter on based on current projects. Then preparation highlights. So any meeting that required a pre-lead material or a data report or a slide deck or a flag, just if I haven't allocated prep time for them, do give me that highlight. Gap is identify and block 2 hours of free time and level them deep work zone. Okay, for insert a core project, example, agentic OS development or so. And then note any back-to-back session, travel time between the locations or overlapping invites, and then suggest a time to stop working to ensure I'm ready for tomorrow's commitment. You see that agent does all of this, what executive assistant for the VPs and all do it, right? I've seen in my org there every leaders do have an executive assistant who does all of this very diligently and enable the leaders with all the context and all the stuffs that we do. And uh, and across different verticals of my org, there are at least one or two executive assistants who is supporting that entire pillar, or we call it as pillar, or it could be a vertical of technology, right? So
Yeah. And I think so. Absolutely, this is stuff I'm looking at trying to understand more. So, you can also, I think, structure it that it automatically runs, let's say, at every morning 8 a.m. It kind of do it, or do you need to prompt it every morning at say run now and then give me the response?
no, I can schedule it. So there is an option. You can see manual or schedule. So I can schedule with
Okay.
my time zone. Okay. And then automatically every day it will run in this particular time zone as a cron job in your system.
Okay.
And it will give me a daily briefing, and it also does what is it went ahead, and then it you see it created 2 hours of working session on my calendar, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. UTC, and it also given this title on that meeting, and while it blocks the heading as a deep work session, and done that, right? So so this is the platform which I'm working on. I'm building it for everyone. So currently it is still in a development phase. You can see it is in Azure container. So
Right.
it is there, but it is more close to production. But I'm still building a lot of features and working on top of it. So this is a pool of agent, and I can do anything with all of my Office 365 suite, which includes Teams, Outlook, Calendar,
Yeah.
SharePoint, OneDrive, everything that you have, right?
Yeah. So I just got a bizarre idea. So I'm asking you, is that suppose in your case, you've obviously created all of this. This is something that's running on your laptop or your desktop or whatever at home. Can you also have another prompt saying, you know what, and then once you've done this analysis and done the executive assistant part, push it out and give me a summary on my phone. So it comes to you as a message, either whatever, text or WhatsApp or something, saying
Yeah,
just link it and just send me a summary.
you can basically do that as a part of another, means within this workflow itself. You can add another point that ping me on the Teams to with all the details, because Teams is already there. You just don't want to give another chat window to the user or another chat interface so that people get too much of bored with it. We have Chat GPT, Claude, everywhere we are chatting, chatting, chatting. So within the existing ecosystem, how can I kind of plug in so that usually I don't give any other UI to the user, rather let's say use Teams, saying that, hey Rishabh, good morning, this is what we see, and this is your schedule for the day, and these are the areas that you need to prep, these are the areas that you have free time to work, and these are the areas that you will be traveling, okay, for the given day. So you have mostly all of those capabilities you can work on. So as of
Yeah.
now, we are limiting to this. Office 365, my plan is bigger to make it across different enterprise tools, like let's say personify cybersecurity analyst, personify
Yeah.
an IT infrastructure guy, okay, who does his day in day out job with some standard SOPs, right? We're just following some standard SOPs so that we can kind of solve all the error bugs, we can solve the tickets. So I think all of those jobs are now going to see this revolution, and all of these agents are going to kind of come up, develop, okay, and slowly get fit into the ecosystem. I'm very sure that in next 1 year it is going to be very, very disruptive. Okay, because we had made a lot of investments in building these large language model. Now it is the time to adapt it, consume it, and make it something which is more relevant. You see, I am trying to also use my first way to go ahead and uh, implement an agent is with this data analyst. Okay, what it does is it connects to different type of warehouses, different type of databases, and then I can just ask any query and I can get the results. Okay, so for example, if I want that number of unit sold by region, So it converts this into a SQL query, runs into the Snowflake environment, come back with a output saying that this is what I see from the query. And it can generate query in any given. You can see it also creates a graph for me, right? So the BI is also going to kind of covered with this single tool, right? And it also tells me how accurate I am. So confidence is 85% that this entire query is accurate. It also gives you a SQL over here to show that what SQL query it has run. It can also run a very complex query, but as of now, just to show an example, I just gave a simple one.
And
If
this
you
is all
want the
built
raw
out
data,
of content and folder you've provided it.
sorry?
You've provided all the information or access to the core data on which then it works, because this is obviously, I don't know what the
Yeah.
right word is, locked in kind of thing, and it's not hallucinating, it's not accessing the web, and it's not just going all over the place, right? So it
So let's
starts with
say,
you providing access. Yeah.
yeah, so let's say this is a warehouse, okay, where the data is residing as of now, right? And then what I'm doing is I'm putting my first agent, okay? I'm putting my first agent to go ahead and scan what are with my access or with my. So I'm going to first feed that this is the warehouse I want to connect. There could be many warehouse. With my access, what are the warehouses that I have? I may choose one of them and then give it to this agent saying that I don't understand anything of this warehouse. Please go ahead and find out all the columns, all the tables, all the data and everything. And then it discovers everything and it creates its own set of context for itself so that it can generate the SQL query. Okay, then it's a handoff also from agent, from discovery agent to a SQL query, NL to SQL. This is another agent, okay, which is going to kind of convert the context that is it has discovered to a SQL query and then execute back in this warehouse and then get the result back over here, right? So this is how so it is attached to a live ecosystem, a live environment, and then it runs over there and then pull the data out and then shows me the data and then present in a presentable form, which I'm showing over here, right? So it can put it in a donut, or whatever the views, it can just go and put it into the different views, right? So this is how it works. And if you see the trace explains at the back end, these are the things it does, right? So it does all of these steps in just few seconds, and then starting from validating and doing each and everything and then running it and then giving you the results. So I think this is what is the future, and a lot of companies have already started working on it. Okay, so we just need to also understand that what they are building versus what we can offer better with AI, right? You can see it also creates a context window. I just want to show you how does it look like. You see, this is what is the YML, and it is auto-generated from the data that I just showed. So this is how it works, right? So I haven't given any of these information. It has auto-generated of its own by discovering that these are the tables, these are the columns, these are the data. Even Microsoft doesn't offer this. And all of this I have built with myself. Means I am a pure data scientist. I don't understand anything on the front end. Okay. I don't have that good amount of expert knowledge to build an enterprise grade front end, but I used Claude. Okay. And I kind of used Claude. I acted as a deployment engineer. I acted as a CI/CD pipeline guy, DevOps engineer. Okay. So I did all of this, right? And with the help of Claude, I am able to kind of personify myself with all of this, right? And the backend engine and the entire AI piece is something which I well know very well and which I can integrate. And that also you can personify with the help of Claude, right? So my end objective is to go ahead and understand some of the essential stuffs, right? Like as I said, LangChain, and then what are the different type of agents, what are the different type of RAGs, what, how do you use memory? Memory is very important aspect in terms of building these kind of agents, right? And how do you tools integration, right? So as you can see that I have integrated many tools. Okay, if I just click on plus, these are the different type of tools I support as of now. MongoDB, Oracle, Azure Synapse, Databricks, AWS Redshift, Snowflake, Azure SQL, and then MySQL, PostgreSQL. These are the different type of warehouses I support as of now, and I'm testing across all of this. And this covers almost 80 to 90% of the industry. And there are many such warehouses as well, but my objective is to cover at least 80 to 90% of the industry and then launch this product out. So uh, all that we are focusing on is how can we integrate kind of these enterprise grade tools. These are all enterprise grade tools. Like Snowflake wouldn't be used by anyone other than somebody has a very good budget, at least to spend some thousands and thousands of dollars, right, for a large scale enterprise. Similarly, Azure SQL, and then we have Synapse, Databricks, AWS, BigQuery from Google, so all of this, right? So tools integration, we will learn that what are the things that comes in place. How can we integrate different type of tools, and how can we make use of those tools, and how do we integrate it? Okay, all of those are pretty much covered with the LangGraph itself. Okay, so all that we need to do is understand LangGraph very effectively, and we need to know how to use that. That's it. Fourth is embeddings and vector DB. This is a bit different. This is from the AI landscape, how the model learns. So I will also give you an idea, right? At the end of the day, you should also know that how LLM can think, okay? How LLM generates those contexts. Then you can basically understand that if anything that you need to improve on the generation side, okay, rather than just blindly trusting what OpenAI is generating, how can I help to kind of improve it? How can I help to less hallucinate it so that it is very, very important. So in my tool that I am developing over here, I have to be correct most of the time. One single query that goes wrong, then it evokes the trust from the user saying that this query may can go wrong here and there, right? So we also need to be accurate in most of the time and saying that, okay, whatever I'm generating, this is correct or this is incorrect, or up to what level it is correct. So all of that, right? So this is what uh, a basic ecosystem will make you understand that where LLM might fail, where LLM might be correct, and basically to build an ecosystem like what we have shown in the webinar, right? The RAGs. How do we build RAGs? So this is the baseline, embeddings and vector DBs. These are the baseline to build RAG. So, and RAG is used in many approaches and many ways, not necessarily always over there, but it is used for referencing as well. For an example, the SQL query that it generates, it is referring to the documents of Snowflake. It is referring to the documents of Databricks, saying that, okay, from there, we understand what is the syntax, and it should always generate the right syntax. Otherwise, the syntax might fail, right? So referencing any data is more important for LLM so that it doesn't hallucinate. It has a fact every time. Okay. While it generates anything, it has a fact or it has a real-time evidence, real-time citation on the data altogether. And and then we are going to build those advanced agents like something like Perplexity, right? Goes ahead and search in the entire internet what are the major topics, and then comes and figure out with let's say a kind of a search engine, right? So those are the advanced agents, right? There are too many handoffs that are happening between multiple agents into the ecosystem to get the answer much faster. Because if you are just making the user wait for a minute, then user loses interest, and then our attentions are very now earlier it was in minutes, now it is in seconds, right? Our attention changes in seconds, and you see that people are transitioning from long YouTube videos to a reel, right? Because our attention keeps on clicking out in next few seconds. So Let's say, how can you make it more faster? How can you consume more and get the things done? So that is what is multi-agent and advanced agent is. And then finally deployment. This is very, very important. The cloud ecosystem is very vast. Okay, so there are so many things in the cloud, right? So it is not possible for you to learn and understand everything. All that you can do is you have a understanding that what are the different type of deployment that can happen, and sticking to one of that will make your life and journey more easier. And then always Claude is there to help you to do those configurations in Azure or get all of those things done. So I'm also going to show you that how these deployments would look like, and how can we make use of different ecosystem like container services in Azure. Okay, I use heavily Azure because it is more trusted by all the most of the organization. AWS is also there, but I do use most of the time Azure. You can also use AWS, doesn't matter. It is irrespective of anything. Okay. The pipelines and all are going to same. Maybe the services are from AWS and the services are from Azure. That's the differentiator, right? And finally, you will be building your own project on what you are interested. That is what I want in this entire ecosystem. Like what I am going to show you, maybe uh, very much routed through all these complexities. Maybe not all complexities are associated with your project. So whatever you want to build it in these few days, just put that in mind. Tomorrow we'll discuss what you individually want to build. Okay, Anil might be interested in building something else. Rajiv might be interested in building something else, right? So I want you to start from tomorrow itself to think that this is what I want to build. Okay, and work hand in hand with me so that you learn the things from here in the session, and then you take your own time and build it. Come up with those errors, come up with those experience what you see and face, so that I can also come and help you at the same time. And it is more of an immersive journey, right? Right. So that you learn more and then get the things done at the end of the session. Build those solutions, right? What I'm building, I just showed you that this is what I'm building. Something like that. You build it and then you show it, show your capability that with agent now I can build something where I used to have some like 10, 15 engineers to build that, right? But now it is just doing kind of everything just by one person. Just by putting not even one person fully, just by putting our own thoughts. That's it. Well, I'll stop over here. Any questions?
I'm going to wait for Anil if he has anything. Hmm?
No.
No. Okay. So I was just curious about another thing. My other interest in sports and stuff, either gym or golf. Now, suppose I want to create like an AI golf swing analyzer and then to give inputs and things. But a lot of the content is spread across 10 different channels in YouTube. Is there a way to say I can connect it to all of those, let's say 10 different ones, and build an entire platform or an app saying, you know what, just upload your own video and you'll get analysis, swing, and tips on how to get better. Very high level on this, stating that.
Got it. Got it. Yeah, you can do that. So there are, so one thing just want to make sure that our computer, so there are different type of models. Computer vision
Mm.
models are not yet to that level where it can get a full autonomy. Okay, so there
Mm.
are still people working on it, and I think this and next year is more of people building more on computer vision. Like for language models, it is very swift and very realistic that what LLM
Yeah.
generates. For computer vision models, it is not up to that level. Like we can still take a video, take a look into the video or take a look into the image and then still figure out that, okay, this is AI generated and this is not AI generated. So that is still there, right? So if you want to build something like that, then you need to use Nano Banana or something like what Gemini offers. Okay, because the rest of the models they don't offer yet. Okay, the computer vision models, right? So thought process on. So and nobody other than Google can offer the best because Google has a glossary of images which is free with them, right? While Claude, Anthropic, OpenAI, they need to buy something from Google to basically train their model, right? Or
Yeah.
get or wait for users to upload more images and then work on it. So to answer short, yes, we can build it, but that won't be so 100% precise with what you want to build it.
Yeah,
So
not
if you
not right away, but 6 months or a year down the line, that capability will also develop. And I anyways have access to Gemini Pro, so I can play around in the sense one as a hobby or as an interest, one can play around, and then as and when the evolution gets stronger, better, then yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely do that. So, if you emphasize on language related projects where you have language or you have a text where you want to integrate anything, that is going to be super powerful than any video or image
Yeah,
models. But yes,
yeah.
you can still do that. There are a lot of ways to do it. We can still do that, yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Cool. So identifying your thought process and then what do you aim to build, just put some ideas today to think and then put it into your notepad or somewhere. Tomorrow we will start with Python. At the same time, we will also start with your ideas, what you want to build, right? Along with us in this entire journey. And how do we incorporate these? And then I'll show you my live executions, right? That I want to build this or probably something that we want to build together. Okay.
Mhm.
So I want to kind of put the live uh, way how do we do that? So the next is very simple is get through these concepts, understand what the LLM is doing, or first of all, give LLM an idea that what you want to do in terms of technical uh, developments, right? And not needed to be in terms of code and all, but just to give an idea. That's
Yeah.
so.
Perfect.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Sure. And this is every Sunday that we're doing this, right? Or is it
I think
Saturday and Sunday?
Saturday and Sunday both days are there, right, Kunal? So it is Saturday and Sunday both days, right?
So every Saturday, Sunday,
Okay.
9 to 11.
Okay, perfect. So both days on the weekend. Yeah, that works for me because by the time the rest of the house wakes up, I would have done my sessions and my thinking and learning. At least here,
Yeah,
by
it
the
would be
time,
pretty early
by the
morning
time
at
we
11.
finish, it'll be 9:30. Yeah, it works perfectly for me. Great, super. Thank you.
Cool. So see you tomorrow, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah, take care. Thanks. Bye.
Sure. Rishabh, I've sent you the invitation link again for the classroom to join. Please do that so that you can publish
Yeah.
any of the material and content. And I hope you have got this another webinar links with you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So see you in some time. Yeah. Rajiv and
Yes,
Anil, any
thanks.
query or anything for me?
No, all good. Yeah. All good. Looking forward to tomorrow and starting this journey.
No.
Thanks so much.
Great. See you. Thank you. Thank you for the time.
Yeah.